eyes in the fourth quarter particularly, and enough to win. There's things that obviously we can learn from from this game, but it's great video for us. I was happy with how our guys continued to play and finish out a game. So that's something that I think that we can learn from going forward and take a little bit of confidence out of it. I thought that the look in our eye in the late in the fourth quarter and in the overtime was one that of confidence, and I hadn't seen that in a while with this team.
All right, again, please raise your hand, and we'll if you state your name and affiliation. We'll go to David here on the front row.
Kevin David, up on Sports on Earth. What do you feel like was the origin of that confidence? Why was it here tonight?
I don't know. I think our guys, we've got playmakers, and a lot of young guys are out there, but there's a lot of guys, and that's why I had the seniors come up that have been in this building, and they haven't, since we've been here, we haven't lost in this building. So it's whether it's been the classic or the bowl game. There was just get the ball back and we're score. I thought Josh Reynolds was very poised at the end. I thought both quarterbacks came in. Kyler came in and gave us a spark, moved the ball a little bit. They played a game in which we had to be efficient with our drives, and we weren't. We scored points, but we did not score touchdowns. We had 16 plays in the first half. 48 plays for the whole game. And in a game like that where possessions become at a premium, points become a premium. And in particular, the fact that we didn't finish off drives with touchdowns instead of field goals came back to haunt us at the end. But, we got to go into the second in the fourth quarter, and I thought, Kyle Allen was very, very poised throughout that whole process, because you can get frustrated with what we do offensively when you're not on the field. And, every possession, what we didn't want to do is get guys to press and try to make things happen that weren't there. And I thought Kyle, and offensively, I thought he responded in the fourth quarter instead of pressing, but taking what was there and making plays down the field, which we needed to do to get back in the game and then win.
All right, Coach, we're going to go right here to Cedric on the front row.
Cedric Bailey, BGC Sports. First of all, congratulations on the win, Coach. And
Thank you.
Talk about how your team responded after the missed field goal and then also the fumble recovery here in the last 2 minutes during the game.
Yeah, there's games like that, there's a number of plays. Everybody's going to point to the end of the game as big play, but there were big plays all over the place. We couldn't get the bleeding stopped on defense early. Our guys kept playing. We won the what do we have? The turnover battle. In a game like that where, you got 20. We had the ball 20 minutes, and 28 points. That's crazy. So that's kind of how it was. We had to be efficient, but we had to get some breaks at the end. But you know how this game is. You make your own breaks. Myles Garrett and a couple guys got loose when we needed them to get loose to get some pressure on the quarterback. Created a turnover. Really bounced back after. I didn't have a sense when we missed the field goal at the end of regulation. Guys gathered up. There wasn't a look in their eye like, oh man, they're ready to go and responded well. So this is the kind of thing that you don't want to go through as a coach, but when you come out on the winning side of it, you're glad it happened, and there's some real lessons that can be learned from tonight going forward. It's our first game SEC play this year, and there's some things obviously we've got to shore up, but there's some positives out of this game, and we're 1-0 in the SEC.
All right, we'll keep it on the front row to Dave right here.
Dave Michaels, NTSN. Coach, this is kind of twofold. Your offensive with Kyler and Joe, they were here. They talk about how uncharacteristic that Arkansas was throwing some defenses at you early on in the game and consistently. The second part of that question is, when you brought in Kyler Murray, were you trying to do something, shake it up, give Arkansas a different look?
Yeah, there was a plan to play Kyler. and package of things that we were going to use him for, and we'll use him going forward. You know, he's a talent. He's a change of pace. He's we're growing him into being letting him operate and throw the football and do those types of things. But obviously he's a different speed, if you will, different pitch for the defense, and you can see that. And it gave us a spark, I thought, which he's done before. He did that at Arizona State. And as he continues to get better as a quarterback and understand everything, and he's working real hard to do that, there's a place for him with our football team and playing in games.
All right, back to David here on the front row.
David Ubben, how would you assess how your defense played tonight, and what do you think it does for them to be on the field and get the win in that kind of fashion?
It was a little bit different. You look up, you get frustrated because we only had 16 plays, and they were on the field. I don't know what the first half stats were, but it seemed that was crazy. I mean, but you look up and they only have 7 points. So the name of the game is to keep them, make them score less than you do. So, they were efficient in the first half, even though we're on the field a lot, and that kind of took its toll. But you got to give Arkansas credit. I mean, they had a plan. They executed their plan. It was a great job. But, what did he have? Alex Collins, 151, very patient, really, really a good back. And Brandon Allen played well. So, they had a plan with play action. I thought for the most part, the big plays we gave up were really runs. We missed a couple tackles but didn't really give up the deep ball where we've had some issues beforehand, and really made them, work the field, go down the field, and that was part of it. But defensively, there's some things that we're going to be able to take from this, and people are going to continue to try to hang on to the ball and keep the offense off the field, because we have some explosive playmakers on offense, and guys that can change the game in a couple snaps. And we've just got to get better, I think, as a team, just a little bit better every week. And if we can do that, we'll have a chance.
All right, Coach, we're going to go to the second row right here to Cedric.
Cedric Golden, Austin American Statesman. Coach, besides the obvious win in an SEC win, what kind of dividends does this pay for you moving forward, the manner in which you guys won, overcoming some real disappointment there at the end of regulation? Yeah,
it was, you got a lot of guys out there that have been in these situations. I thought we had some leadership from, Jermaine Ifedi, Mike Matthews. Those guys were very, very vocal on the sideline, and some guys that defensively, Julian Obioha, those kind of guys, even though you saw Dalen Mack and Zakovic Henderson there quite a bit. We're rolling those guys. But for the older guys, they've been through games like this. And we got leadership out of those guys. The Devontae making the play at the end. Josh Reynolds has been that guy for us. I thought Kyle made some critical throws down the stretch. So the older guys with the leadership, it's good, but when you finish a game like that, the younger guys can draw on that experience, I think, going forward, because, we're going to be in the SEC, in the SEC West, you would hope it wouldn't be like this every week, but in year 4, it's about like this every week, and you got to expect it. Now, that's what I meant by what we can learn from this, and the game's never over, whether you're ahead in this league or behind in this league. And so you have to play the whole game, and sometimes the whole game plus overtime to win in this league, and that's what we can draw from.
All right, Coach, we're going to go back on the far left to Scott.
Scott Clendon, KZNU Radio. Coach, let's change the focus to one of your younger guys. It seems like Christian Kirk, the situation doesn't get too big for him. He certainly plays beyond his years.
Yeah, he's he made a statement, Arizona State, the opening ball game on a big stage on national TV. We've got confidence in Christian, in the fact that we put him back there for the opening kickoff against Arizona State. He's been back there by himself as a punt returner, so there's no bigger trust than sitting back there in a ball game like that. So, he's a big play guy, and he got a little tired tonight. We handed it to him, we threw it to him, he returned it, and so we probably did a little bit too much. Speedy was out tonight. He just couldn't go. So that really doubled up. A week ago, we were able to rotate he and Speedy as punt returners and at the position to keep those guys fresh. So, we got to get Speedy going and get him back healthy, and that'll take a little bit of pressure off of Christian. But certainly he is a dynamic player, and we're finding ways to get him the ball.
All right, Coach, all the way in the back.
Thought I'd help out the back here. First, Coach, and to your team, congratulations. Robert Flagg, D210 TV. What is the one word that you would describe this game, and the one word that you just told these guys before the game and then after the game?
It's, again, just when you win a game like that, it takes all three phases. Some offensively, defensively, special teams, we had some good out of all three of those, and we had some not so good, some things we had to overcome. But the key is, we weren't perfect. We've got a lot of things we can work on. But the effort and, the resilience, I thought, was good. And there are a lot of things from a mental toughness standpoint that we can take from this game that maybe throughout the middle part of last year might have been, we're a little shaky in that area. Does that make sense? I thought mentally our guys hung in there. I thought physically we played a lot of people. But I thought the mental part of it, football, so much of it is execution, but it's also, hey, look, confidence and belief. And, we've got some guys that I think grew up a little bit tonight, particularly young defensive linemen against a really, really, really good rushing attack, playing against some grown men in there. And so, going forward, we got some things we got to clean up. But the positive is, as I said, I thought that mentally we hung in there and really our self-talk on the sideline was as good as I've ever heard it. It wasn't fake. It was guy to guy talking about, let's go. We just got to get a stop here, our offensive score. The guys were talking on both sides, offense to defense, defense to offense. And as a coach, when you hear that, you're like, wow, these guys, this is a team. And without coaches yelling or doing anything like that, that's part of the growth process that we need to make, going forward in this league, because it's a tough league.
All right, Coach, right here in the second row.
Mark Passwaters with Rivals. Coach, you've been talking since spring ball about how the defense was going to need Devontae Harris to step up. Obviously, tonight he did. How nice, outside of the obvious game-ending play.
Yeah, he's played a lot of football here, and he's seen a lot of different things.
How nice was it to see him step up?
Yeah, that was great for him, particularly, being here, being from, Metroplex and his family here, and to play that way at the end of the game and make a play like that was awesome for him. We need him to continue to be there. We're rotating Brandon Williams and Nick Harvey over on the other side. So really Devontae is over there by himself, playing every snap at corner and a big play at the end of the game, which helps his confidence. And we put him out there on an island. He struggled a little bit the week before with some penalties, some that were called, some that may or may not have been, but certainly for us to be where we need to be, he's got to continue to play at a high level, and I thought the play at the end of the game was as big as there was all night.
All right, Coach, final question back here, about 5 rows left.
Coach Zach Taylor, KZNE Radio, your takeaway of the offensive line's performance and the adjustments they were able to make against Arkansas?
I thought it was as I said, it's a hit and miss game. You've got a situation where you're only going to get so many possessions, and the pressure to move the football in those possessions becomes a big deal. So because of the lack of time that we had, we had to take some shots. We ran it okay, but we're able to really get some things done. Throwing the ball down the field, and Kyle Allen was very, very good at times, particularly late in the game. So the protection late in the game was good, and it's hard to evaluate right now without looking at the video. But if you only got the ball 20 minutes and you get 21 points in in regulation out of those 20 minutes. You know, you're being efficient. We need to shore up some things and make sure that we're punching the ball in for touchdowns instead of settling for field goals, and that's will be a point of emphasis going forward.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Good. Thank you.